And he, along with the board, has seen something amazing in we the students in this program that we have. And that vision is now beginning to come to fruition. The president has started more than just a program. This is truly a launching pad for the next generation. And for that, we can say thank you, Mr. President. To Mr. Ernest Walker, wherever he is, I know he's out there somewhere. Sometimes I feel that we've bombarded his studio. However, his warm reassurance and gentle leadership always lets us know that it's quite the contrary. Mr. Ernest Walker has welcomed us with open arms and full support. All right, the man of the hour, the president just walked in, so I have to do this all over again. Mr. President, if it wasn't for you, this program would not be possible. I've always said that you give me this Obama vibe, making a difference and making changes and stuff.
I'm not president anymore. I'll be here for a while.
Okay. So we thank you, Mr. President, for what you've seen in the student body here, and we thank you for this program. You are starting the next generation. For that, we thank you. President Austin Lane, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, Mr. President. All right, and up we have next our wonderful provost, Dr. Kendall Harris.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, I really appreciate that. And thank you for your patience. I know Dr. Lane will comment when he gets up, but we had a staff council over there, and one of the things that we're trying to ensure here at the university is that everyone is special, especially our staff, that, you know, if it's the students that we're all about, is our staff to ensure they're the lubrication of the engine that keep us going. So that's where we were. So we apologize for our tardiness and from that aspect. Guys, welcome to the launching of KTSU 2. This is an exciting time. I joined the university a little over a year ago, and I came in right when this concept was in the middle stages of what it wanted to be done. And I had the privilege of saying, okay, whatever we need to do from an academic side to ensure that our students are going to be prepared when they go out into the marketplace.
Thank you,
And
Provost.
yes, that's exactly what we want to do, is make sure our students are prepared. Everything that we do, that we're doing here at KTSU 2 to ensure that our students will take the next step to be on air, to be behind the scenes. There are so many avenues and so many different areas that our students can participate within the media focus. So we want to ensure that the KTSU is that laboratory that launches everything. So thank you guys for your support. Listen to it. You know, my staff is always on me when I have it on in the office. They're like, Provost, you know about that? They don't realize I got a 17-year-old still around, so I better know about that. So we truly appreciate you guys supporting this, and we're totally excited about this. And we're always joking and say, KTSU, better watch out for KTSU 2, because it may be the preferred station to listen to. So thank you again. Are you going to introduce our dean?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's give it up for our wonderful provost, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we have our interim dean, Dr. Raquel Brown.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you all so very much for being here. I'm nervous, obviously. That's not usually what happens. But thank you all for being here. This is such an exciting moment in time. It's historical. I shared with the students earlier that this would not be possible without all of the hard work and effort that they have poured into this, along with some of our other faculty and other members of the School of Communication faculty and staff. There's a lot of work that's been put into this that we don't know about, that you haven't even seen. So a lot of that, I want to give you all of the acknowledgement that you deserve. Would be remiss if I did not acknowledge my predecessor, Dr. Maurice O'Dine, who was very instrumental in spearheading this project as well, along with faculty members that are on sabbatical, Dr. Reza Pude. So I just want to thank you all, welcome you. We hope that you enjoyed the programming that you will be hearing on KTSU2, and that you will take time to tour our facilities and see what we have going on so that you can take part in it as well. Thank you.
Dr. Raquel Brown, ladies and gentlemen. And now we're going to have a KTSU perspective from our general manager, Mr. Ernest Walker.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
I feel special today. But I gotta say that, today we're making history here at Texas Southern University and at KTSU, so I think we need to give applause right there. Now, I've been here for, I think, about 3 years now, and I would tell you the impact that we're making on our students is absolutely amazing. And one of the things that Dr. Lane talks about all the time is the core values. And today, with a partnership with the School of Communication, KTSU 2, The Voice, is being launched. So I gotta give a special thanks to the KTSU staff that has worked very hard on this project over the last year and a half, and me driving them crazy with we gotta meet these deadlines, okay? But I must say that I'm so proud today for our students and the training that they will be getting, hands-on training. It is nothing like, it's one thing, the book, learning through the books, but it's another thing in radio broadcasting, being able to touch it and learn it and, grow from that. So we're excited about the launch of KTSU2, and it says the next big thing. All right, thank you so much.
IGM, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ernest Walker. Y'all are still with us, right? All right. So next up, we're going to have a special recognition and introduction from our VP of University Advancement, Miss Melinda Spalding.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. If you are a student or faculty member who has worked on this project, please give yourselves a big round of applause. You deserve it right now. If you are a member of the KTSU staff or the special committee that was formed to recommend this student station, give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you all for your collaborative efforts to get us to this day. As Dr. Lane mentioned, he wanted to do this like the first day that I started here. And when the provost joined our team, that panel's recommendations were presented to us, and we wanted to make sure we made it happen for our students. Right now, on this very special occasion, I'd like to recognize some special guests. Representing the City of Houston, we have Ms. Janice Weaver, the Director of Community Relations, the Office of Community Relations. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we cannot have an event here at Texas Southern University within the congressional district of Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee without not only a proclamation, but also a representative. We have Ms. Tara Dennis, the congressional district office leader here, and students as you're learning live radio, joining us live right now on the phone. Because we have to learn to be flexible as we are broadcasting and streaming live. We have our very special Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who is calling internationally so she could be a part of this moment. Congresswoman.
Melinda, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You're on.
Well, first of all, thank you for that kind comment, and to all the, I guess it is really the students. Dr. Lane, you know I appreciate and celebrate your leadership. My good friend and the GM, I call him Brother Ernest, for all of this creativity. The provost, and really the committee had the vision and idea that came up with this, the great KTSU2, and the students are going to be really the masters of their own destiny. I wanted to call in particular is to acknowledge the power of the medium and the power of information. Because I am calling in from Cyprus, the Greek Cyprus, a nation that has been in turmoil and split into two independent or at least separated entities, and really they should be unified. We're here as a peace and security mission to find out whether or not there can be any unity after 40 plus years. What an enormous experience. But the idea of this is to say that information guides everything that we do. And just imagine this new form of information, KTSU2, that hopefully I'll have an opportunity as a member of the United States Congress to call in or to be able to give updates as they happen, and the ability for you to stream in the immediacy, if you will, the imminency of the events that are happening. In particular, to open it in this great month of African American history, it just tells of the genius of our people and the importance of knowledge of Frederick Douglass, Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks, Christy A. You look those names up. But I'm just going to conclude by saying I did not want the moment to pass without emphasizing the importance of National Public Radio, but the importance of the vehicle of streaming, and the importance of you as students providing information and, of course, your own gift and opinion. So congratulations to each and every one of you, and I hope to have an opportunity to stream right along with you, and to the advocates and faculty and administrators who have helped this move along. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for allowing me to call in from pretty much halfway around the world.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And we know KTSU2 will be heard and streamed all around the world. And she's also given us a certificate of congressional recognition for this great honor and this great day. So thank you again. Another round of applause, and thank you. So we've gone a little bit out of order, but that's okay because you students are learning to be nimble. I would now like to bring up the 12th president of Texas Southern University, Dr. Austin A. Lane.
Wow, I go off script all the time. But I'd like for the faculty in the School of Communications to come forward and come stand behind me. Faculty, those on the committee, come on up so they can see who you are. And I'm going to give you, come on up. These are the superstars right here. Give a big round of applause. Come on up. A couple of years ago, as they're coming up, I did a listening and learning tour. This was probably the first month that I got here. And when I tell you that, you only want to take credit for things that go wrong, that's usually what leaders do. I won't take any credit for something that goes right, because that would be unfair of the folks that I have sitting behind me or on the side of me. When I got here in June of 2016 and met with the School of Communications, they told me what they loved about TSU, and they told me what we needed to work on. And this was one of those items that came out of that meeting, where they shared with me that how is it that we don't have a living and learning laboratory for our students on campus right, that can prepare them to take on careers that we see all over the world, right? On TV, behind the camera, in front of the camera, you name it. But why can't we train those students? We have a world-class group of faculty members that have more experience in this room than probably anybody at the university, and have been in places that we can only imagine. And so they were pretty honest with me. And then they started talking about technology. And they started talking about what we needed to do to enhance the technology. And we've spent millions, but we've got to spend some more money, right, to continue to keep up with what's out there. So we can't just rest because we put a few million into the program. We've got to continue to do more, and we'll do that through our capital expenditure plan, which is a plan that we use exclusively to fund facilities and technology, in addition to our Title III funds. We have Title III funds that the provost is managing that we will also continue to invest in our students so that they can go to the workplace and do great things. So they were pretty honest. So because of their honesty, I said, well, guess what? Why don't we start a task force and a committee of folks who can tell us what we need to do. And when I tell you that the president and the administrators, they can't tell you what to do with this kind of stuff. The only people that can are these folks right here, because they lived it, right? So we would be naive and ignorant in thinking that we could design something like this. There's no way we could do that. So we use their expertise in conjunction with students, students in their program, in conjunction with other staff members. And I also want to bring, I know this room will get packed, we're all the KTSU folks that are out here. Well, I want you to come up too. All the KTSU personalities and the folks that are working there. It's going to be a lot of people up there. Give them a big round of applause. Come on up. Because many of these folks, where's Donna? Where's Donna? She's on the air. She's there, okay. So she's working. But just so you know, so we have superstars that you see walking up here now that have been there and done that, and our personalities, and they're known in our community. You heard our Congresswoman talk about their success. You heard what Ernest has been doing in his 3 short years of being here as well. But this partnership that we talked about is living proof that we have no more divide. There's no more divide between school and radio. We're all operating on one accord, right? And we're doing that to get me to the last group, and that's my students. And I'm underlining my students, right? And they're my students because I get to talk to their mother and their grandmother when they don't like something here, right? That's why I can call them my students. But for my students that have these beautiful shirts, man, I wish I had one of those shirts. I hope I get one. And you got one, and, okay. You want one too, huh? Those are some cool shirts. To my students, you don't even realize the history that you're making today. You will come back here 20, 30 years from now, and you're so fortunate because you will be able to say, I was there when they started KTSU 2 The Voice. Isn't that something? You get to tell your kids and your grandkids. Well, wait on having kids, so, you know, it's a whole other story. Those of us up here can tell you, take your time and enjoy your careers, and yeah. So when you're back 40 years from now, right, with grandkids. But this is for you. We don't work hard to get any accolade or for people to tell us that we did right. I like to deflect that because it requires deflection. There are a lot of people here that spent a lot of time thinking about this, even before I showed up. I can tell you that. I know God. I mean, they've been talking about this. We just put it into action, so they deserve all the credit. You have some passionate people up here. One of them, I think, is sitting to the right of me. Where is she? Right here. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you something. These folks eat, sleep, and live TSU, okay? And they feel totally obligated and responsible. And that's why they keep pointing at them. You see them pointing over their heads and stuff, okay? They're like the mothers of this place when it comes to what they know we need that will get us there. You give them a big round of applause. They are all in, man. They have your back. They have your they got your back. Just a phenomenal group. I can't say enough about how much they care about what happens to you when you leave. We had conversations about them just wanting to make sure that you're prepared, that you show up to places and that people know when you get there, they go, oh, they've been trained by TSU. They don't have to be retrained. They've been trained. I know they can get critical, students, right? So he laughing, you see, somebody said, amen. They can get critical. That's because they love you. They really care about you. And when you get there, they want you to succeed. Right? Because I want you to give us some money. When you get that job, Alumni Association wants your membership. Just remember these moments. Hopefully y'all capturing this. Okay, so in all seriousness, this fits every one of our top 5 priorities. Student success and completion. Right? We want you to be successful when you complete. We want you to be ready to go into the workforce and to shine. Right? We want you to be that person that shines so they know, well, that's a TSU student. Right? That's one. Number 2, academic program quality and research. That fits number 2 to a T. Right? The strength of our academic program, how strong this program will continue to be, how it will continue to prepare you. The research that can be done in this laboratory, right? The dollars that we could receive through the roof. Culture. TSU has a historical culture. You just heard from our Congresswoman talk a little bit about the history, but we have a historical culture of producing people that are successful in this area and others, but in this area. So what I tell the message to the students, like my mother and grandmother told me, don't embarrass us. Right? Don't embarrass us when you get to those news channels or those radio stations. Don't embarrass us. Because we got people coming behind you that need that same job. Right? And we're counting on you to do well. If you don't, we don't do well. Right? The other area after culture is partnerships. Do you know how many companies, right, that would want Radio Ones and different companies that will want to partner with TSU to create a pipeline for you to get to their organizations. So the partnerships are critical, right? Again, when you get there and you're prepared, those partnerships will just continue. You'll open the doors for so many other people you won't even know. It's critical. And finances speak back to the capital expenditure plan, back to Title III funds, right? We can't just have, Provost likes to say, yeah, we're going to advertise that we've got all this. And I agree with him. We better be about something when people get here, right? You better not get here and go, oh, wait a minute, I thought you guys had all this big KTSU too. What happened? Your folks don't even have X, Y, and Z. Communicate, keep the lines open. I want this committee to stay formed as an advisory committee. That's the charge for this group behind me, so we don't lose momentum. You need to be able to tell us, tell the provost, what you need to continue to make this a strong and viable program. We need to sustain this. We don't want to look up a year or two and go, what happened to KTSU 2? I'm not going to be here doing that. Right? I want to be here where we're talking about it. I hope to be here a long time, but when I leave, I want to say, man, I was there when they kicked that off. I was part of that. It's a big deal. So on behalf of all of the faculty, the staff, the students, I want to thank, again, everybody who left and right of me. I want to thank everyone in the audience who took time to be here today to celebrate in this historic moment. And I want to thank our Board of Trustees. We have one of our student regents here that he and I are going to pick up trash later. Is it today? Regent jump tomorrow. We got to go pick up trash in the dorms. Let's give him a big round of applause, our student regent, Bernard Jones. And to everybody who had a hand in this, thank you so much. And let's go and keep doing great things at TSU. Go Tigers. Thank you all very much.
If you don't mind,
All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful words from our president, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all feeling right now? Everybody's crying, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So let us have a word from, I just have to say, one of the most passionate individuals I've ever seen in my entire life. I call her my journalism mama, the queen of news, Professor Sabino Sandifer Walker. Yes, and Belle Wilson.
So, I want to drop a little bit of history. First of all, I just want to say, President Lane, thank you so much. Dean Brown Burton, Mr. Williams, Mr. Walker, Board of Regents, our renowned faculty, and extraordinary students. This is a divine moment in the history of Texas Southern University. Similar to when Highland Stewart stood in line for 2 hours to register at then Texas State University for Negroes on September 8, 1947. That day, Highland became the first person to register at TSU. 2,000 more people would follow in his footsteps to be taught by some of the most distinguished professors in the world. Professors like Val Wilson. This place became legendary in the Houston African American community. They heard of the bigger-than-life debate coach, Dr. Thomas Freeman, who could take a student and turn him or her into a great debater. They knew about Dr. Arlington Smith, who created one of the best drama departments that anyone has ever known. They were impressed by Dr. Bobby Wilson and his young scientists and the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation. They were amazed to learn the history of Texas Southern University and Born to Serve by Dr. Merlin Petrie. They were thrilled when Dr. Clarice Lowe wrote the paper that led to the creation of the School of Communications in 1975. They were inspired by the young professor, Dr. Diane Jemison Pollard, whose late father, T.J. Jemison, helped lead the civil rights movement in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And they couldn't believe a woman by the name of Holly Hogelbrooks, who was a professor here at TSU, was one of the leaders of the Houston civil rights movement, a movement that ultimately helped end segregation in the city of Houston. This majestic faculty is second to none. Today, they are all smiling because history is being made. My history, your history, our history is woven in this illustrious institution. Mr. President, I often say you are our very own Clark Kent. However, I've thought about that, and you're much more than Clark Kent, T'Challa, or Jefferson Pierce. You are our very own Austin Lane. Dr. Austin Lane, a real-life hero whose leadership and vision made it possible for KTSU2 to be a reality, a stunning reality that's going to lead to more Highland Stewards coming to Texas Southern University. Your leadership is changing lives and making our university and community better than anyone could have ever imagined. And the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King's eye-opening speech, "I Have a Dream," and the quote from Jack Dorsey, "Success is never accidental." In remembrance of Mickey Leland and Barbara Jordan's struggles and push for civil rights and liberty, and the understanding that success is the result of hard work, learning from failure, loyalty, and persistence. In the recognition of Black history, we are making a powerful history of success at Texas Southern University. I try my best not to become emotional because this is 44 years in the making. And Professor Val and I have worked so hard, but it's only through a wonderful visionary, Austin Lane, that this is possible. Wow. And Mr. Wendell Williams. So I know that there's an opportunity for our students to go out there and make a difference. They're gonna make a huge difference. They're gonna tell our story, and our story deserves to be told. So I just wanna say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. My cohort here. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Janice Weaver from the City of Houston. She is the Director of Community Relations. Thank you so much for being a part of our wonderful celebration of KTSU.
Good afternoon. I will be very brief. First of all, I want to say on behalf of our mayor, the mayor of the fourth largest city in the United States of America, Sylvester Turner, he was not able to be here today. Most of you know, hopefully all of you are registered voters and live in Houston, but for the students that are not from Houston, today is council day. So we have council on Tuesdays afternoon and then Wednesday morning. And so he was unable to come, so he sent his best. And that would be the Janice Weaver. But the mayor certainly supports the university and the membership drive financially. So for those of you that know the name, I'm here in the spring and I'm here again in the winter. And we're raising money, Dr. Lane, for this radio station. And to the students, I've had an opportunity to work with some of you in community events. So we appreciate that. But I want to say that I feel like a mom too, and I certainly feel like that I'm a part of this history on today, and I'm glad about that. And so, as Dr. Lane expressed, you're gonna go out and you're gonna represent us well. You gotta remember that you came from Texas Southern University, yes, one of the best HBCUs here in the United States of America. And so, the mayor and the city of Houston stand with you, whatever you need, and your general manager, oh my God, he knows how to call. Charles Hudson knows how to call, and so does Donna Franklin as well. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Melinda and I have worked for many, many years in the community, and so to see us at this point right now today is such a pleasure. And just honored to be a part of this great historic moment. So again, thank you all so very much, and we're going to be watching you. We're going to be looking to see Val, right, what they're doing and how they're making us proud. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much.
Well, this is just wonderful, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we're finishing up here, but we cannot leave without first getting a student perspective. And with us, we have one of my wonderful colleagues. And this gentleman works so hard at the studio. Both of us were here. He was here till almost, 10 o'clock last night? But that's not the only night. Every night, he's here. He's one of the first ones in and one of the last ones out. And we just want to commemorate him and let him know that his work is not in vain. Can we welcome Student Perspective, Mr. Harrison J. Richmond.
Right. So as you can see, I didn't prepare a speech. I was unaware that we were doing that. And if Dr. Lane didn't speak before me, I was going to do this as well. So you gave me a great idea. I would like my KTSU 2 staff to come up and be a part. Please make your way to the front. I'm going to wait. While everybody that's been involved, from Dr. Lane to Dr. Brown Burton, Professor Sanford Walker, Ms. Val, Mr. Ernest Walker, Ms. Melinda Spalding, everybody that I failed to mention. Ms. Talia, you don't want to come join us up here? Come on, I'm waiting on everybody. Come on, Ms. Antrashib. I'm waiting on everybody. I need everybody up here. Ms. Miles, come on, Joseph, Mayor. I like to say Texas Southern is a place of opportunity. Coming out of high school, I wasn't sure if I was gonna go to college or not, and my family's here and they can attest to that. And then one of my buddies was like, hey, let's go to TSU. At the time, TSU was an open enrollment campus. I graduated top 25%, but my standardized testing wasn't as such, so I got denied from a lot of the other schools. So I was kind of down and out. So I come and my buddy never made it to Texas Southern University, but I made sure I came. And like I said, this place is all about opportunity. I had the opportunity to find my passion here. I had the opportunity to meet some great student leaders as well to help us push this forward. And my first opportunity here at KTSU happened probably about 2014. I want to say it was the year before Mr. Walker has got here, and I didn't value it. I kind of lingered. I went around, thought this was what I wanted to do, but learned how you had to be passionate for this. So my second go around with KTSU, if you guys do not know, I produced the hip hop program on Friday nights here with Mr. Ernest Walker called the Juice Crew. And if Jay Renee Erin Nash is up here, she's my co-host there. And she's standing in the back. Here she is, walking to the front. Right. So with that opportunity, we've been able to do some great things, but unfortunately, prior to KTSU 2, other students didn't have that same opportunity. I had been the moderator, I guess you would say, for Communications Week, maybe the last year or 2 years ago, and the narrative was as such: TSU students get to the radio station and they fail, and it's because they were not properly prepared. And it's not a shot at Texas Southern University, but it's a great appreciation for Dr. Lane and Mr. Ernest Walker to notice that and put the things in place that we need for us to go to the next level. So I say that to say another opportunity came about with KTSU 2, and it's crazy to see all this happen. I want to say thank you to the marketing team as well, in the back there, to come up with these beautiful logos and pictures and stuff like that. But it's crazy sitting at the table when this first all was an idea. We didn't have a logo. We didn't have a social media site. We didn't have an email. We didn't have a brand. We didn't even have a name. We didn't have music. But we wanted to be a radio station, right? One thing we did have was a lot of love and a lot of passion in one room. And of course, nobody ever sees eye to eye on anything. Nothing that's great, at least. So, to my counterparts, I want to say thank you to you guys for sticking in there, because you guys know what we go through every day. Like you said, it's countless nights where we're here, sacrificing our time that we could be with our families or putting towards our education, but we see the value in what we have. So I don't know where I was going with this speech, but I just want to say thank you.
Can I just say we're doing both education and KTSU? We're multitasking.
So to Miss Sabino, Senator Walker, and Miss Val, I want to say thank you guys for serving as our mothers while we're here, because oftentimes we spend more time here with you guys than we are able to at home. And I personally want to say thank you to Mr. Walker, because the times I've had, when I've had my long days or I feel like my back's against the wall and I don't know where to turn, he's always been an ear for me every time. So a lot of my frustration is able to be put on him, and I know he has so many other things, but for him to sacrifice the 3 minutes, the 5 minutes here, it goes a long way for me. So I want to say thank you, Mr. Walker. Right. Shout out to Jay DeLay, who's the voice of KTSU too. He has served as one of my mentors, and all different types of things, TSU alumni. I want to say thank you to Mr. Charles Hudson for letting me in at night. Using the cart to go back and forth to see Miss Wynn in the School of Communication. But no, for real, seriously, what we have here is something great, something special. It's crazy to see the school get behind it the way that you guys have, and we definitely appreciate it. We just look forward to bringing you guys the best content possible. The music may not cater to some of you guys' ears, but we're gonna always keep it clean. We're gonna always keep it clean. But we now have a place and a platform for our students to be heard, for the local talent here on campus, to shine some light on some of the schools. And I feel like this is just another opportunity to bring everybody together. So again, thank you on behalf of KTSU 2. I go by the name of Radio Rich, and that's it.
Ernest?
I don't have my t-shirt yet.
I don't have mine either, Dr. Lane. I'm a little upset about that.
Oh, no, I don't need it. Wait a minute, let me suck my.
Everybody say the voice, right? The
The next big thing, the next thing.
Oh, wait, he's got the show here.
Right.
Okay.
voice. There are many.
Okay, now can we? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can get you out here. He left. You need to get over here.
We're trying to get everybody in order in here. Let's get in order. Is Dr. Pude here? He's about, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Dr. Pude. Let's give him a big round of applause as well. Yeah, Wendell, they're giving you a shout out. Wendell, give Wendell Williams a big shout out. He had to work week to week with everybody. So God bless him. All right.
Excuse me.
Who we missing in the show?
No, you got it.
So once y'all move it in, we come down front.
Y'all young.
Anybody else?
Awesome.
You want a chair? You want a chair so your knees don't give out? I'll say we sit right in front. Let's sit down.
That's fine. I don't have any money.